I think he's a bit of a wet blanket, really. I think he was definitely bullied by those girls. Yeah, I never really thought of it like that. I think people had an expectation of who he was by the way he sort of acted, by the way he sort of presented himself and his relationships, especially with him and sort of Storm Shadow. So to be the face of this kind of being of power and of strength, I think it gives him a humanness. G.I. Joe's always been so grounded. They aren't people with crazy powers. They're people with unbelievable skills, and they've honed them over the years. And so to give that kid in the playground the ability to be like, oh man, I want to be as badass as Snake Eyes. It's just like, yeah, he's just like you. He's a guy who's made the right decisions. Perhaps not in the past, but he's made amends for that. Oh yeah, I think he'd definitely be one to jump in there and kick some butt. He'd find the easy way to do it though. Maybe a knife in the back, perhaps. He's kind of one of those guys, isn't he? No, I think he's a bit of a wet blanket, really. I think he was definitely bullied by those girls. So nah, definitely not. I think he's got a bit of public schoolboy kind of rugby toughness to him. I think he keeps himself in shape. Yeah, he'd be up to do it. He's a nimble chap, isn't he, though? So I think he'd be more sort of dodging things and kind of and hoping that they don't hit him. So I think he's evasive, I would say. Ooh, we take it right to the beginning. We meet a young man at a crossroads in his life, and I think it's what everybody has always wanted it, like knowing the history of this such sort of an iconic character. But apart from the personal aspect, it's the action, it's the exoticness of real locations that we filmed in Japan. It's on a scale that I don't think we've seen at the cinema.
I think it's a perfect movie to see in a big screen because the action scenes are visually stunning. The costumes, the special effects, everything is stunning. I think it's a lot of fun as well. So I think they will enjoy it.
It's so exciting to be able to sort of kind of share what we've been creating, where it's leading. And I think people are really going to enjoy Robert Schwenke's take on the G.I. Joe franchise.
To be honest, I'm not nervous. I'm more excited about that.
There's always a sense of, I suppose, responsibility. There's so many fans from the beginning of G.I. Joe that have sort of grown up with this and all of these characters. So what we wanted to do was really cater not only to them, but also the new fans, the ones that aren't familiar with G.I. Joe. It needs to be understood that G.I. Joe was such a huge American franchise, not necessarily sort of the rest of the world. So to be able to sort of continue on and start the franchise from fresh. Obviously we had those amazing two sort of last films, but to wipe the slate clean and create from the beginning a standard and a structure for these sort of iconic characters, I think is fantastic. I'm hoping that the new generation will have this as sort of a standpoint for the rest of their lives. So that'll be great.
I'm very excited about playing the Baroness as well. She's such a badass. She's amazing. Okay, so she's Leader's Cobra. sorry, it's Cobra's leader. I think she's a very powerful woman. You know, she's always in control of everything. She's bold, she's clever, she's also a little bit manipulative, capable of anything to get what she wants. So yeah, I would say she's the most dangerous person in the room. And as I said, she's a badass. The hardest.
Oof, loads of sword work. It was just like continuous beating of swords. So we would do like 4 hours every single day. We'd do like an extra hour and a half of PT just to make sure everything kind of was working.
I thought, I can handle this, no problem. And obviously I was wrong. I remember the first 2 weeks were super tough, and I'm very small as well and very delicate. So I was suffering, but now I feel indestructible, you know?
We really needed to be able to accomplish these stunts and this choreography. So it was all to sort of ensure our knees wouldn't buckle or our ankles wouldn't give way, that we'd be able to sort of like switch between these stances. It was like preparing for an ultimate battle, one that didn't end for 2 months. So it was just like training forever. But it was I was so grateful that we did it, because it just shows on screen. Like every single one of our actors did amazing. Ooh, I can't, to be honest with you. It will give away the ending. But know that, you know, the filmmakers have made this to continue and to blossom into something great. And I think they did it fantastically. They've honed in on a sort of a macro level of key characters instead of sort of having like a huge ensemble movie. So to be able to do that, you can build all of their backstories slowly but surely. And I think fans are just going to be excited at the gradual sort of reveal of everyone. Whoa, you're digging in there, aren't you? You know, I'm gonna put this. It's very, very early days, and I think for Snake and Scarlett, for that matter, they are definitely concentrating at the mission at hand. So, is there possibility of something in the future? Who knows? Maybe they, you know, perhaps they don't even survive the first movie. Who knows?